and how you can get started really strongly with your doTERRA business. I'm recording this webinar so that we will have it to access later. And this is my first time recording one on my own, so hopefully things will go very smoothly. At the end, we'll have some time for questions and answers. So if you hear a ding, that just means someone is entering the meeting. And if you're entering after we start, just join us and relax. And if you have questions, we will get to those as we get to the end. So I want to welcome you and thank you for joining us. Starting a doTERRA business was not something that I had in mind whenever I first joined doTERRA. Honestly, I just joined to get the oils and to get them at the best price. It just made sense to me. And I used them for about a year and a half. I was really, really happy. And then all of a sudden, I was just telling everybody about it. And it occurred to me, hey, you could do something with this, and you could not only have your family benefit with their health, but you could financially benefit from sharing your love of the oils with people. And so I did. And I'm going to share with you some of the things that I've learned that has really been a benefit. Some things I've learned through the School of Hard Knocks, and some things I've learned from some really great mentors and leaders that I've had. So without further ado, let's get started. Start with why. You need to know what your purpose is. Why are you building a doTERRA business? And it's a really funny thing that most people who start a doTERRA business do not do so because they want to make money. They do so because the oils have been impactful to them. They've made a difference in their family, and it's a really big thing. It's an important thing, and they want to share that with others. And that's what I think makes having a doTERRA business so unique, is that I don't feel like a salesperson. I honestly feel like I am educating people and giving them tools to empower themselves and their families and to improve their lives. And so that's my why. People don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. That's a quote from Simon Sinek. And he's written several books, but his book that I read that was really impactful to me is Start With Why. And I want to share a short piece of a video with you. A YouTube video.
When poise pads with super absorbent material.
Sorry, we have to skip the ad. Okay.
How do you explain when things don't go as we assume? Or better, how do you explain when others are able to achieve things that seem to defy all of the assumptions? For example, why is Apple so innovative? Year after year after year after year, they're more innovative than all their competition. And yet they're just a computer company. They're just like everyone else. They have the same access to the same talent, the same agencies, the same consultants, the same media. Then why is it that they seem to have something different? Why is it that Martin Luther King led the civil rights movement? He wasn't the only man who suffered in a pre-civil rights America, and he certainly wasn't the only great orator of the day. Why him? And why is it that the Wright brothers were able to figure out control-powered manned flight when there were certainly other teams who were better qualified, better funded, and they didn't achieve powered manned flight? The Wright brothers beat them to it. There's something else at play here. About 3.5 years ago, I made a discovery. And this discovery profoundly changed my view on how I thought the world worked, and it even profoundly changed the way in which I operate in it. As it turns out, there's a pattern. As it turns out, all the great and inspiring leaders and organizations in the world, whether it's Apple or Martin Luther King or the Wright brothers, they all think, act, and communicate the exact same way. And it's the complete opposite to everyone else. All I did was codify it. And it's probably the world's simplest idea. I call it the golden circle. Why, how, what? This little idea explains why some organizations and some leaders are able to inspire where others aren't. Let me define the terms really quickly. Every single person, every single organization on the planet knows what they do, 100%. Some know how they do it, whether you call it your differentiating value proposition or your proprietary process or your USP. But very, very few people or organizations know why they do what they do. And by why, I don't mean to make a profit. That's a result. It's always a result. By why, I mean what's your purpose? What's your cause? What's your belief? Why does your organization exist? Why do you get out of bed in the morning? And why should anyone care? Well, as a result, the way we think, the way we act, the way we communicate is from the outside in. It's obvious. We go from the clearest thing to the fuzziest thing. But the inspired leaders and the inspired organizations, regardless of their size, regardless of their industry, all think, act, and communicate from the inside out. Let me give you an example. I use Apple because they're easy to understand and everybody gets it. If Apple were like everyone else, a marketing message from them might sound like this. We make great computers. They're beautifully designed, simple to use, and user-friendly. Want to buy one? Meh. And that's how most of us communicate. That's how most marketing is done, that's how most sales is done, and that's how most of us communicate interpersonally. We say what we do, we say how we're different or how we're better, and we expect some sort of behavior, a purchase, a vote, something like that. Here's our new law firm. We have the best lawyers with the biggest clients. We have, we always perform for our clients, do business with us. Here's our new car. It gets great gas mileage. It has, leather seats. Buy our car. But it's uninspiring. Here's how Apple actually communicates. Everything we do, we believe in challenging the status quo. We believe in thinking differently. The way we challenge the status quo is by making our products beautifully designed, simple to use, and user-friendly. We just happen to make great computers. Want to buy one? Totally different, right? You ready to buy a computer from me? All I did was reverse the order of the information. What it proves to us is that people don't buy what you do, people buy why you do it. People don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. This explains why every single person in this room is perfectly comfortable buying a computer from Apple. But we're also perfectly comfortable buying an MP3 player from Apple, or a phone from Apple, or a DVR from Apple. But as I said,
If you go on and watch the rest of that video, you'll be very inspired by all of the stories that Simon Sinek shows and shares about how thinking from the inside out on the golden circle has made people, companies, ideas truly inspiring. It's made people want to follow them, want to be like them, and want to do what they're doing. So how does this transfer, this idea, to a doTERRA business? It starts with why. So why do we do the things that we do? Part of what doTERRA does that I find so compelling is the Healing Hands Foundation. And it is out there in the front. Co-impact sourcing is very important because doTERRA cares about people. They care about the world, and they have a strong mission of doing good. And so if that is part of your why, if you're wanting to do good, if you're wanting to improve the lives of people because you love people, then that needs to be your primary message. So if you're telling someone what you do, you can tell them, you can say, I love people, and I care deeply about them. And I know that better physical and emotional health leads to more fulfilled lives, happier lives, and that's my way of making the world the way I want it to be, one person at a time. And how I do that is I provide natural health care solutions to people through the use of essential oils. And that's the doTERRA essential oils. They're the pure, certified pure, therapeutic grade essential oils that support our bodies so that we can have greater wellness, emotionally and physically. And that's what we do. Instead of saying, what do you do? Oh, well, I sell doTERRA oils, and they make you feel better, and I like them. Want some oils? That's not very compelling. But if you start with why, and you share it in that way with people, then they are drawn to you, and they are inspired by you, and they want to do that too. And so that's just a really neat way of thinking about things as you go into why you're doing this business. One thing that is really unique to essential oils is that I'm just getting a message, I'm sorry. Any meeting is frozen. Let's see. I'm going to escape from this for a moment. Okay, I'm going to resume our presentation. I think one of our attendees is having some trouble with a slow internet connection, but we're going to press on, and hopefully things are going well. So let me go back to our slideshow. As we're sharing the oils, we know that our smells, our olfactory nerve in our nose, goes directly to the limbic brain. That's the center of our brain, where it's the center for emotion, memory, learning, and feelings. This part of your brain is not associated at all with the speech centers of your brain. This is a very primitive part of your brain, and it works on feelings. And so if you've ever been in the situation where you feel something very strongly, but you can't verbalize it, you can't put it into words, that's how the oils speak to and appeal to people. And so when you're talking to people and when you're giving a class, instead of asking what they think about what they're learning, ask them how they feel about what they are learning. How do you feel about this oil? As you pass around oils in your classes and you share them with people, you share samples, ask them how it made them feel. Ask them, do you feel what I feel about these oils, that they will help you? Is this something that you feel that you can do for your family? Or is this something that you feel you want to learn more about? And those types of questions are easier for them to answer. Sometimes when we ask, what do you think about information that is emotional, then it causes a conflict in the brain, And when people try to start rationalizing and verbalizing feelings, it can cause them to back away from that and to have a negative reaction. So someone may have really been digging what you were teaching. They're all on board. And then you ask them to verbalize or talk about it. And that is where they start pushing away from the table. And so it's something just for us to be aware of. It's just how the human brain works. So as you are thinking about all the people in the world that you could talk to about your experience with essential oils, as you're building your business, identify your target audience. Each of us has our own interest, our own niche, if you will. And so we just have certain people that we naturally are going to have rapport with. Reach out to those people that have the similar goals and interests that you do. You'll have natural rapport with them. You'll be very comfortable as you start to talk and meet a variety of different people. Then you will feel more comfortable branching out into other areas. But just start with people who share similar goals and interests. It can be friends and family. It can be people in social groups or in business groups that you're involved with, church groups, anything like that. People at the grocery store, other moms with kids, if you're a mom with kids, if you're a grandparent, other grandparents. If you are a runner, other runners, if you're a musician, other musicians. So just find that group and reach out because you have similar experiences. When you're giving your message, keep it simple. Okay? What are essential oils? How can they improve our lives? And what are the benefits of joining as a wellness advocate? Those are the things that people need to know. If you give them too much information at first, it's like you're fire hosing them. Instead of spraying information at them through a fire hose, give them a sip at a time. It's easier to digest, and it's not as overwhelming. That's where the class in a box is really, really wonderful. It's a very simple presentation. It gives them the basic information, and it tells them what the benefits are. And that's what we want them to know. This is a really tough one, is finding your leaders. And it's something that happens with time. And I've learned through personal experience that you can't make a leader out of someone. They have to want it themselves. And if you're working too hard to convince someone to do the business and keep bugging them and cheerleading them and just wanting and wanting and wanting, it's not going to happen. They have to want it for themselves. So you have to be prepared and be patient and just realize that most people that join as a wellness advocate are doing so to just get the best prices on their products. And that's fine. That will be the meat of your business. Then sometimes you'll have these people come along and they're just so excited and they see the success that you're having, they see the goals that you have, and they have similar goals. Those are the people that are going to just be natural leaders. Nurture those leadership skills, okay? Encourage them to reach out, encourage them to share, and encourage them to break out of their comfort zone and encourage others to get involved, to teach classes, to help others teach classes, to offer classes for others, because we are educators first and foremost. And then when you're ready, you can structure your organization according to your goals. What are your goals? Are your goals to simply have your oils paid for? That can easily be done by reaching elite. You'll consistently be able to have your oils paid for, a really nice order of your oils paid for. Are you looking to supplement your income, by $500 to $1,000 a month? You can do that as well. I'm at that point right now, and I'm only elite, but it's because of how I've structured my business. If your goal is to have financial freedom and to replace your income, you can do that as well. And I'm going to show you how you can do that because I'm well on my way to doing that. Here are some basic success habits that you need to have every day. Rome wasn't built in a day. That's a common saying that people have heard. The pyramids were not built in a day. They were built by having daily, consistent progress, one step at a time towards a goal. And that's how building anything big is going to be. So every day, make it your goal to make 2 new contacts. Meet 2 people that you don't know. That can be people at the grocery store. You can introduce yourself to someone at Scouts, at any of the clubs your kids are in. Just strike up a conversation. They're just people, and you're just a person. Ask questions about them. Don't make it about doTERRA. Just make it about getting to know people more and reaching out, putting down the cell phone and the Facebook, and interacting with people. So try to make 2 new contacts a day and be genuine about that. Then contact 2 of your customers that you've already established, whether they're wellness advocates or preferred members or retail customers. Contact 2 people a day. And I realize at first you're not going to have that many people, so don't contact the same 2 people every day. You'll be bugging them, they'll think you're stalking them. But contact someone every day, or contact one of your new contacts and just follow up with them. If you give someone a sample of oils, give it to them and at the same time ask, if I give you this, will you try it? And can I follow up with you in 2 or 3 days? And when they say yes, then follow through with them. Call them back or text them or email them or however you've arranged to do that and ask them, did they like the oils? How did they feel about them? Did they notice any improvement in the situation that they were using them for? Okay, so follow-up is so important. Contact 2 builders if you have them. Okay, stay in contact with your people. And this doesn't have to be a huge time commitment. You can take 10 or 15 minutes to make your contacts every day. Do 15 minutes of personal development a day. That could mean on some days, learn more about an oil. Go to your books. It could be Modern Essentials. You can go to Aromatic Science. You can go to neweverythingessentials.me and you can just learn something. You can go through the professional development systems, whether that's the Share Success Challenge or the How to Grow Dough business partner training. And then plan for success. Get yourself a planner. Use that day planner that you have. Do first things first in all areas of life. Make time for your kids. Make time for your spouse. Make time for yourself. And make time to build your business. Put in those things that you have high priority on, and then the rest will just fill in. One thing that I learned as I was starting off is I had to examine my priorities and look at what I was doing in my day and see what didn't make sense. Was I spending a lot of time doing this or that, and it was just a time waste? For me, I wasn't watching a lot of TV, but I was watching some TV, and that met none of my goals. It didn't even relax me or improve me, and I've given up TV. I really have. I watch very, very, very little television. I don't even watch the news because it's so depressing. But that's just one thing I cut out of my day, and that freed up an hour or 2 every day for me to do something for my family. And it's paid for itself. In less than a year, I started building my business in July of 2014, and right now it's March of 2015. And this month, in March, I am elite, and we just got our last Fast Start bonus check for the month, So I've earned $758 in the month of March. And that's not bad. It's really helping my family. So let's get to how to earn. There are 6 basic ways of earning with doTERRA. And we're going to go through each of those so you can get the lowdown. First, there's retail sales. So a retail customer can go to your mydoterra.com/your name, or whatever you've named your site. They can just shop and check out and pay a retail price, and you get 25% of what they paid. So you have 25% profit, and that is paid monthly. So if they made the purchase in March, then April 15th is when that will process, and you will either have a direct deposit that day or a few days later, or you will be mailed a check. Direct deposit is what I recommend because it's fast, it's easy, and you don't have the check mailing fee associated with that. Preferred member sales are good. They used to be kind of complicated, but that's something that was released at Leadership Retreat beginning April 1st. The preferred membership fee will be increased from $10 to $25, and all wellness advocates will earn 15% straight commission on all volume from preferred members. And that is also paid monthly, so you could take all of your preferred members' purchases for the month, multiply by 15%, and that will be paid the following month on the 15th. Fast start bonuses. I love fast start bonuses. It's so nice to get paid every week. So this is something you get paid on a Wellness Advocate during their first 60 days of membership. Any of their purchases during their first 60 days, you earn 20% on. Okay, that's what you normally earn. But to be eligible to earn commissions and bonuses, you have to meet the requirement of placing a 100 PV loyalty rewards program order every month. And as you're changing your order from month to month, always have your template at least 100 PV, because let's say that it's the first week in April and your LRP is scheduled to process on April 15th. Well, they will check your template and make sure it's at 100 points to say that you're qualified to receive your Fast Start bonus check that month. If you were canceling things in your order because you're changing it, you don't need 3 tubes of toothpaste this month, okay, that's fine, and your LRP template is down to 40, you will not qualify to get your check that week. And so it needs to be up. Not only does your template have to stay at 100 PV, but you actually have to place that order sometime during the month. If you get to the end of the month and you cancel that loyalty rewards order, then you will owe doTERRA a refund for those Fast Start bonuses you've collected. So just keeping it up straightforward. Now, if you are a new wellness advocate, you have the option of participating in the SHARE program during your first 60 days of membership. In that program, you get 30% bonus on all of the on a wellness advocate's first 60 days when you enroll someone. But you get that as 15% cash and 15% credit for free products. You can get the free products without being a qualified to get your bonuses. That means without having the 100 PV LRP. But to get the cash payment, you have to have the 100 PV LRP. And these are paid weekly. So they process on the Wednesday following the week that the purchases were made. Power of 3 bonuses are awesome. I love getting these. I've gotten the $50 level Power of 3 bonus almost every month the last 6 months. You must be qualified. The 2 arrows up here mean you're qualified with a 100 PV LRP. Okay? So 3 people, and you can have 14 people in the level, your first level, it doesn't matter, but of those 14, 3 of them have to be qualified. They have to have placed a 100 PV LRP that month. And then if you add the volume of your first level and yourself, you have to have a minimum of 600 PV as your volume. If you meet that requirement, then you get $50 on top of your monthly commissions, just as a bonus. Now, if this pattern of you and 3 under you is repeated for those 3 people, so if this person and the 3 under 3 of theirs on their first level are all qualified and their team volume is 600, and this person has 3 people on their first level qualified and their volume is 600, and this person repeats the same thing, then you will get both your first level and your second level power of 3. So you'll get a $300 bonus that month. And they each will get their first power of 3, which will be a $50 bonus for each of them that month. So see how that adds up, and then if the pattern repeats for these 3, and they each repeat that pattern, you would get $1,800 bonus. That's pretty sweet. You'll get that every month. It's not a 1-month thing. So every month that this pattern holds true, then you will get it. So the Loyalty Rewards program is very rewarding for customers, but it's also a way for you to have predictability in your business. And so you can encourage your team to be on the LRP and have a qualifying order. You know that if they're interested in earning commissions, they will have to have that to get paid. And the nice thing is they don't have to have many people under them to get enough in commissions and power of 3 bonuses to pay for their oils. It's really easy. And sometimes I have a hard time getting people to understand that until I sit down with them in person and put a pencil to paper. Unilevel commissions. Okay, so after someone has been a member for 60 days, then you just start earning regular Unilevel commissions on them. You must be qualified. You have to have that 100 PV LRP. And the payment depth is determined by your current rank. So let's say that you are a director. You have to have that monthly 100 PV LRP. To be a director, you have to have 1,000 PV in your organizational volume. So you and everyone under you has 1,000 points. Then anyone directly below you on your first level, you'll earn 2% commission on their purchases. On level 2, you'll earn 3%, and on level 3, you'll earn 5%. Okay, so as you increase in rank, that means you get paid on deeper and deeper levels. So right now I'm elite. I'm getting paid down to level 5, and honestly, I don't have anybody below level 5 because of how I'm building. I'm building wide and deep at the same time. When you get to silver, you'll be paid through all 7 levels, and that's it. Now, what if someone, say at level 3, doesn't place an order? Well, there's dynamic compression, so that means that you don't just lose out on that whole level, that everyone compresses up. So you get paid on a true 5 levels if you're elite or 7 levels if you're silver. So you don't miss out on getting paid a level because someone doesn't place an order that month. It's really nice. Another thing that's very unique about doTERRA is how you get paid higher and higher commissions as it goes deeper. Because if you look back and think back to the power of 3, if you have 1 person at the top and then 3 under them and then 3 under each of them, your levels are going to grow exponentially, okay, in their volume. And so as your levels grow down here, you get paid more and more. So it encourages you to build and to help other people build. That is the opposite of any other network marketing or multi-level marketing company. And so if you compare what you will make with doTERRA and anyone else having the same volume, you'll make 40% more money with doTERRA. And that's pretty doggone impressive. Okay, When you hit silver, you're considered in a leadership rank. And this is where things get fun. I can't wait. They set aside 3% of the company's profits, the company's overall volume for that month. Okay? Set it aside. Everyone who's silver, gold, platinum, they get 1 share in this leadership pool. And so you can earn additional shares for each personally enrolled wellness advocate. So let's say this month I've enrolled 17 people, okay? And the current value is around $450 per share. So if I'm silver and I've got my handy dandy calculator here on the side, since you love cell phones, and so I have my 1 share plus 17 for those enrolled, so at 18 shares times $450 means that I would get an $8,100 bonus this month. Yes, I said that right, $8,100 on top of my commissions, on top of my fast start bonuses, on top of my power of 3 bonuses. This is where it really seriously starts taking off, folks. So if you can push through and get to silver and encourage the people and keep enrolling people, that's where you can really make a change in your life. So what is the role of a wellness advocate? Our role is as an educator. We're not a salesperson. The oils and products are good enough that they will sell themselves. The only people that I have ever come across that have not enjoyed the products are those that didn't use them. They left them on the shelf. They were not consistent. They didn't use them. And so if we educate and empower people, teach them how to use the oils, they will use them and they will benefit from them. So we need to support others as they learn to support their body. And that's a real paradigm shift from modern medicine. You know, you get the thing at the pharmacy, the doctor tells you what to do, or there's a label and directions on it. Essential oils don't come that way. So we have to depend on a network of people and resources to support us as we learn. Another important thing to remember is that this is a volunteer business. This is not work. So if you are in leadership or management in a 9-to-5 job, this is very different. You can't just tell someone what to do and expect them to do it because this is their own voluntary effort. So we have to focus on inspiring instead of requiring. You know, you want to find their love language, see what makes them tick. Get to know your team, get to know your leaders, and just inspire them, encourage them, and be positive. You know, everyone has challenges, and I'm not saying don't share those. Those are being real. But just because you have a challenge doesn't mean it has to be a negative thing. A challenge can be a learning opportunity. I mean, I've had lots of challenges, and I try to look at those as learning opportunities, and I then try to share those with my team so that they don't have to go through that process, that long process, and learn like I did. They can just shoot straight to the target. The only way you're going to fail in the doTERRA business is if you quit. Don't quit. There will be slow months, and there will be amazing months, and they will average out. If you are consistent and you keep doing what you're doing, you are building a pipeline. Okay, you're not hauling buckets of water, because the moment you stop working, the water stops flowing. That's a 9-to-5 job. If you don't go to work, you don't get paid. Building a doTERRA business is different. It's not hauling buckets of water. You're building a pipeline so that one day you will be finished building that pipeline and the water will continue to flow. And that's what we're talking about with residual income. You're building a team. You're teaching your leaders how to duplicate your efforts so that they will teach their leaders how to duplicate their efforts. And you are building the pipeline that will be your security one day. And it won't be very long. I'm so glad that you joined us today. I'm going to unmute the presentation so that, pause the screen sharing. Okay, let's see. Bring all to front. Let's see. I want to, there we go. Hi, John, can you hear me?
I can.
Okay, great. Did the presentation start working for you guys?
I logged back into it and it worked for a little while and it froze up again.
Okay, well, I recorded it and